What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, as I said yesterday, we are going to be trying to finish up this record prediction series, finish up the last couple of games, and really get my final opinion on what I think our season is going to look like in the 2020 season. So if you are new to the channel and are enjoying the content, consider liking the videos, subscribe to the channel, and sharing it with a Lions or an NFL fan that you believe would enjoy this type of content. But with that being said, let's get right into our Week 15 matchup as we travel to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. Now, as you all know, we are currently 9-4, coming off a huge divisional win versus the Green Bay Packers. We are now 4-1 in our division, first place in the NFC North, and looking primed to to have a playoff spot, if not take the North entirely. Now, as I said, in Week 15, we traveled to Nashville to take on the AFC runner-up in the Tennessee Titans. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of scared for this matchup. I think that it's going to be a very long day for our defense, as of right now. Obviously, if they're playing really good, my opinion could change. However, my first impression when I saw this game was, oof, we're going to have to stop Derrick Henry. Can we do that? Because we really didn't have a great defense last year. Now, as we didn't play the Tennessee Titans in the last couple of years, just to go over a couple stats, just to put in, just to kind of get a reference point, the Tennessee Titans last year had 5,805 total yards, ranking 12th in the NFL. 3,582 of those were passing yards, ranking 21st. 29 passing touchdowns with only 8 interceptions, while having 448 passing attempts, which was only 31st in the NFL. Now, as far as rushing the football, they rushed for 2,223 rushing yards, 21 rushing touchdowns, while averaging 5 yards a carry. So this team was obviously a run-first team. They ran behind the rushing king and Derrick Henry. They put up a lot of rushing yards. They ran the ball a lot. They didn't throw the ball a lot, obviously only having the 31st most pass attempts in the NFL. This team runs through Derrick Henry. If you could stop Derrick Henry, you stop this offense. But with that being said, that is much easier said than done, as Earl Thomas and the New England Patriots defense could, probably attest to. Now, looking at their defense, the Tennessee Titans defense gave up 5,752 total yards last year. They gave up 4,080 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, while having 14 interceptions. They also gave up 1,672 yards on the ground with 14 rushing touchdowns. So this defense really wasn't that great at anything, but they really weren't horrible at anything. I mean, they were good enough, and Derrick Henry was good enough to keep the defense off the field. They really didn't have to do a whole lot. If they could hold an offense to a field goal instead of a touchdown, Derrick Henry could then come on the field, take 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 minutes off the clock and score a touchdown. The defense is fully rested, and then they go out there and hopefully can hold the defense to another field goal, while Derrick Henry then comes back on, takes more clock off, scores more points. And that was kind of their philosophy and how they wanted to win football games, and it worked going 9-7. And then obviously in the playoffs, Derrick Henry, well, obviously he had a very good regular season, being the rushing yards king, really took off in the playoffs, breaking all kinds of rushing yardage records, breaking all kinds of rushing touchdown records as far as playoffs and postseason records. And really, this guy is just an absolute monster. And last year, in the postseason, at the end of the regular season, Derrick Henry officially arrived to the NFL, and everybody that plays the Titans needs to watch out. Now, to compare that to the Detroit Lions offense and defense, we've gone over this a few times before, but just as a quick reminder, because it's been a while, the Detroit Lions offense had 5,549 total yards, passing for 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, while throwing 15 interceptions, while throwing it 344 times, ranking 13th and most in the NFL. Now, as far as rushing the ball, we didn't have a great rushing offense, as most people know. We rushed for 1,649 yards, 7 touchdowns, while averaging 4.1 yards per carry. The Detroit Lions defense was atrocious last year, giving up 6,406 yards total, giving up 4,551 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, while on the ground giving up 1,855 yards and 13 touchdowns. So the Detroit Lions, obviously going 3-12-1 last year, weren't a very good team. They were competitive in a lot of games, but if you look at the record and you look at the defensive stats, they really weren't that good. And, I'll be the first to say that, I hate when my Detroit Lions are bad. I hate when they, lose a lot of football games. And even if we're competitive, the Detroit Lions, it doesn't matter how competitive you are. If you can't win football games, you're not going to be a good football team. Even if you, lose every game by 1 point, you still go 0-16 and you still get the number 1 pick in the draft and you're still the worst team in football. So, last year the defense was absolutely atrocious. The offense, while having a good passing year, wasn't really that good at rushing the football. Kind of the opposite offensive philosophy of the Tennessee Titans. Now, looking at key additions, obviously, as I said, I want to look at guys that I think will have a key impact in this game. And for the Detroit Lions, that means a lot of big boys. Now, Danny Shelton and Nick Williams, 2 defensive tackles we got in free agency. And then Jamie Collins and Reggie Ragland are 2 linebackers that are going to need to step up huge in this game. I picked Reggie Ragland because he is a huge run-stopping linebacker. I mean, if anybody's going to stop Derrick Henry, it's going to be him. And, while Jamie Collins is obviously a very good linebacker, I think Reggie Ragland has some size on him. Reggie Ragland is more of a run-stopping specialist, and I think he's going to have a huge game. Him or Jared Davis are going to have huge games in Week 15 if we want to slow down Derrick Henry enough to win this game. Now, looking at the Tennessee Titans, they really didn't add anybody because a lot of their money went to keeping guys that were already on the roster. Those guys being obviously Ryan Tannehill, who stepped in a big role last year and really helped guide the Titans to the playoffs under, he was really the change up after Derrick Henry, getting the teams to bite on play action. He was a very good quarterback. He was a very serviceable quarterback to Derrick Henry and what the Titans wanted to do. And then obviously the Tennessee Titans franchise tag Derrick Henry, and that's where a lot of their money went. So they didn't have a ton of money to spend in free agency, but they did pick up Vic Beasley in free agency, who's shown in the past he can be a very capable pass rusher. And then they picked up Isaiah Wilson in the draft, a offensive lineman out of Georgia, to obviously help bolster that offensive line to help Derrick Henry get even better next season. Now, as far as key losses, the Detroit Lions lost A'Shawn Robinson and Damon Harrison. Obviously, 2 huge run stoppers for the Detroit Lions that were going to have a huge role in this game. And then they lost Devon Kennard, who was an edge rusher who, still helped in run defense. Now, as I said, the Tennessee Titans really didn't lose a whole lot, but they did lose one big piece, and that was Jack Conklin. He is one of the better offensive linemen in the NFL. And he was a guy that a lot of Detroit Lions fans wanted us to sign. Unfortunately, he did sign with the Cleveland Browns, but he is no longer on the Titans, so we no longer have to play him this year. And then we no longer have to play Dion Lewis, who was kind of a change-up to Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry's the big bruiser, is going to run right through you, and Dion Lewis is kind of the smaller, shiftier receiving back that's going to, go around you opposed to going through you. Those were kind of the key additions and key losses. As I said, the Titans really didn't lose anybody, and I think the Detroit Lions did a very good job replacing what they did lose. Now, key matchups, I already mentioned this, and I think everybody knows where I'm going with this. It's going to be whoever can stop the running game first. Can Danny Shelton and Nick Williams and Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins and Reggie Ragland stop Derrick Henry before the Tennessee Titans rushing defense can stop Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift? Both teams are trying to play ball control football. They're both trying to dominate time of possession, keep their offense on the field as long as they can, run the football, drain the clock, put points up, and really damage the defense while doing so. I think this game is really going to come down to who can execute better. And I think they're both going to come in with similar game plans. It's going to be who can execute better. Can Derrick Henry have a better rushing game, or can the combination of Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift have a better rushing game than Derrick Henry? That's what it's going to come down to, and that is really the only thing that matters in this football game. Whoever runs the ball better, whoever dominates time of possession, whoever is more efficient in the red zone, is really going to, put up the W. They're really going to, put the game away, and they are going to win it for their team. Now, with that being said, looking at what we did on defense last year and the fact that we have a lot of question marks on that defensive line, I can't in good conscience say that we are going to stop Derrick Henry better than that Titans defense is going to stop DeAndre Swift, a rookie running back, and Kerryon Johnson, who, has some injury concerns. So I have to give this game to the Tennessee Titans. The Detroit Lions are currently 9-5 based on my projections. Obviously this is just a projection, so the Detroit Lions could definitely win this game. I feel like this is a game that, as we've mentioned before, as we talk about Matt Patricia, I've mentioned that every year he seems to have 1 or 2 games that he just schemes and he out coaches and he out prepares and just is better than the opposing head coach, and that could definitely be one of those games. This is a game that the Detroit Lions are looking at. A lot of fans are kind of concerned about because our defense as a whole wasn't great last year, just like the Kansas City Chiefs last year. And in this past season, Matt Patricia really outplayed the Chiefs, and this could definitely be a contender for one of those games where Matt Patricia just is having an out-of-body experience and just out-coaches and outplays the Tennessee Titans. But with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. If there is more Lions news before I get back, I will obviously make a video letting every single person know. But until then, that is all I have for you guys right now. If there is more Lions news for tomorrow, I will obviously make a video letting everybody know, as I just said. If you are new to the channel and are enjoying the content, consider taking 2 seconds out of your day to like the video, subscribe to the channel, push it out, bring new people in. It would mean the world to me. It takes 2 seconds out of your day to make mine, and I would be very appreciative if you were so kind as to help me out. But with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see all of you tomorrow in the next record prediction video. Thank you all so very much for watching. Bye, guys.